Hey everyone, and welcome back to the X-Ring. So I've got a really exciting episode for you today. I've got none other than Gary Melton here with Paramount Tactical. You guys know that we teach the XP Long Range Academy together here at Pig River. But while we were here, basically goofing off, guys, what I wanted to cover was some of these multi-caliber rifles that are out. You know, part of that ASR contract that Barrett had won was being able to come up with a rifle that could shoot a short action cartridge, something like a 308 or 6.5 Creed, but still be able to step it up to like these 300 Normers or 338 Lapua Magnums. So I've got the Barrett MRAD and Gary has the CADEX Kraken. Gary's now a dealer for CADEX. So we're going to compare and contrast these two side by side. We're going to talk about the prices, the advantages. Gary, who is another player that we might not have here out of this group of multi-cal rifles?
The only other one I consider that's a serious contender, I think, is Accuracy International.
I agree. Guys, I think, you know, even though we reviewed the Steyr, we reviewed the Sacco, you know, the M10 is just one of those it's just too impossible to get the support for here in the U.S. And CADEX is a Canadian company, but they do have a good representation here in the U.S. You're going to have dealers like Gary that'll have all the accessories. Barrett, it's kind of a no-brainer. They have tons of dealers in the United States. So we're going to look and compare these side by side. We're going to start off with 6.5 Creedmoor, and then we're going to step it up to some of these Magnum calibers. So definitely stick around. All right, guys, I think a great way to start this off is not with the shooting. What we're going to do is I'm going to call out something. This will be a fun way to do it. He can talk about it and either answer back with yes or no on whether he can do that. All right, so starting at the bottom, working your way up towards the front. Do you have an adjustable toolless
100%.
butt pad?
Yep.
Okay.
Throw this lever right here, same exact thing.
Nice. So this is a push button on the MRAD. He has a throw lever. Adjustable cheek riser?
Yep. So all we do is over on this side, we have these two tabs that we push in and it raises up. It has settings right there. So we got that.
Okay. Is your cheek riser ambidextrous?
It is. It actually comes with two different ones.
Yep.
So this one is not ambidextrous, but it does come with a separate one. It comes with left-handed or right-handed. And then on this one, what I do like about this is that you can actually move this forward or back. I have a really long neck. By the time I get my length of pull correct, a lot of times my face is too far forward and I'm off of the cheek riser. What's nice about this, it has multiple settings. You can move this back or forward. You
nice.
Unscrew this and you can move it back or forward and index it the way that it fits your weird body.
Yeah, and I like that because a lot of guys just thinking adjustable cheek risers just up and down, but like on the AIs and some of these other rifles, you can conform them where you can slide them left, right, because we all have different thicknesses in our faces.
Yep.
Do you have a QD on the back side?
I do. So
okay.
Right there.
He's got one on his left. I've got left and right. Do you have a bag rider?
We do.
Okay, and his has a Picatinny on the bottom, which this one has as well. Yep. Do you have a folder?
I do.
How does your folder work?
All we do is pull this right here, pull it forward, locks.
Locks your handle if it's down, which I think was a requirement.
All we're going to do is actually push that, come back, there we go.
Nice. All right, so moving on up, do you have an AR style grip where you can change it out?
We do.
All right, awesome. So far, same. I think you might get me on this one, I'm not sure. Yeah, length of pull on this one as well. I'm just trying to remember because I never messed with the length of pull on this one. Oh, it's the button right here on the top, so I can just adjust it. Mine, I always keep it running side. Do you have an ambidextrous safety?
Yes, we do. It's right here at the top, so it can be reached with a left or right-handed person.
All right, so one for the CADEX because the Barrett does not. You can move it from left to right, but they do not offer one where you can activate it from either side simultaneously. You have to choose one or the other. As far as the bolt throw, 60 degree?
60 degree.
All right, guys, so far we are the same. Now, as far as your trigger, is it a single stage or double stage?
It's actually adjustable to where you can change it from single stage stage or double stage, 2-stage.
Barrett is a single stage. All right, magazine. Is your magazine proprietary, or is it, like with the Barrett, it's proprietary. So these are very expensive. They're over $100, and depending on the Magnum size caliber or not, you have to buy it specific. You got letter designations. This is a C for your 308-65 Creed. How does that one work?
AICS mags. So any AICS mag is going to run, and I believe, don't quote me on this, you may have to take this out, I think they'll also run AW mags, but I'll double check that, and we'll remove that little tidbit of information if it's incorrect.
Okay, full length Picatinny.
Yep.
How many minutes of angle?
This has 20 MOA.
This is 10 mils. So I think this has a little bit more than 20, but either way, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
It's on the bottom, it's 20. Yeah, I can see it on the bottom.
Yeah, so this does have 20 MOA of elevation built into the rail. And I do know you can actually, that's optional. I think you can get up to 30 or 40 MOA as well.
All right, so now I think we're gonna get into some of the nitty gritty.
Yep.
Barrel change in less than a minute and a half.
It's about 2 minutes.
About 2 minutes?
Yep.
All right, well, we're gonna find out. We're gonna do that on here. As far as barrels and accessories, guys, you can get barrels for Barrett from somewhere around $16.25, I think is what it runs. So if you want, you know, and it comes with the actual bolt face, it is a quick change. You're looking at about $16.25. Sometimes they'll be on sale, just like with a lot of other people. M-lock on the sides.
M-lock on the sides.
Is that an M-lock? That looks bigger than M-lock. That's not M-lock. Apparently that's an M-lock. I'm almost disagreeing, but that's okay. It's okay to disagree. 369 on your M-lock.
Yep.
All right, so we're looking apples to apples so far. That one has one or two things. This one has one or two things. One being the barrel change time, the other one being the ambidextrous safety. Let's talk about price. Forget that this is a Mark 22. Guys, a Barrett MRAD is the exact same as a Mark 22. The only difference is a little difference in color, and you're not going to get the scope and stuff. This one retails for $5,500 for a Barrett MRAD from someone like an authorized dealer like Euro Optic. What is that one going to run with one barrel? Centerfire.
Over 8.
8,000?
Yep.
Okay, so another point for the Barrett, it is going to be cheaper. This one is made in Tennessee. That one's made in Canada, correct?
Correct.
All right, so now we're going to put them to the test. We're going to go 6.5 Creedmoor. We're going to shoot them for group, and let's get this show on the road. Now, before we go any further, guys, I do hold the CADEX name in high regard. I do know that they make some great barrels, some great rifles, and I think they even single cut their barreling, their rifling for their barrels. So let's go ahead.
Come with a Bartlein barrel, single cut.
Oh, Bartlein barrel, and I don't know who does the Barrett. It could be someone like that, but I know that there are aftermarket barrels available from Proof, and I know that they offer a gunsmith kit for the extension, so that if you were a gunsmith, I can take this extension to you, and you can put whatever barrel I want in there, and so that would be a cost that you'd have to incur per barrel swap. So let's go ahead and do this at 100 yards first. We'll see how they group. We're going to shoot the same lot ammo, Hornady match, 6.5 Creedmoor. We are shooting Hornady match ELDM, and these are 140s. All right, so Gary, you're target on the left, I'm target on the right, correct?
No, you're target on the left, I'm target on the right.
Just checking. What optic you running?
Knife Force Attacker 7-35.
All right, same.
Yours is a little different.
Well, it's still A-Tacker 7-35. Top left. I'll shoot and you shoot, we'll just keep answering. A little bit low. Here a little left. Ooh, I am low left. I'm not going to change anything. Man, this is not grouping well with this ammo. Yeah, you're definitely printing a tighter group.
Oh, I threw that one. Bigger than shit.
All right, guys, so as far as group goes, until I got my third shot down range, it didn't start grouping tightly. Now, this is not a factory Barrett barrel. This is actually one that was provided to me by Proof. He has a factory CADEX barrel. And like I said, once it started coming in, it was fine, but I needed to get some heat in it. As far as the suppressor, I am shooting the Area 419 Maverick in the full-length configuration. Gary, aren't you shooting a KGM?
That's KGM R30T.
All right, nice. Yeah, they're both extremely effective, but the CADEX wins on the 100-yard grouping. All right, guys, so what we're going to do first is we are going to take the barrels out. We're not going to do it for time or anything, and we're going to remove them, put them back in, and see if they have a return back to zero. So first up is going to be the Kraken. Gary, tell us what tools we're going to need to do this and how it works.
All right, so this is a little bit more involved when you're doing a barrel swap with Kraken than it is with the MRAD, so we'll just get that out of the way right there. So you do need 3 tools. You need this tool, and this tool. And there's a bunch of fancy names for these tools. They're in the manual. I don't care what they are, but basically we're going to go through this. I'm going to show you exactly how to change this out. All right, so once we have the bolt removed and we have the buttstock folded out of the way, we're going to take this tool right here. It looks like a bolt face. So we're going to insert this, and once you get it in the right position, continue to turn it. That is going to go in flush with the action. Now we're going to take this tool right here, and we're going to align it with these lugs that are on this tool. So that just slips on just like that. To make sure that's nice and flush. And then we're going to take our little torque wrench. What we're going to do is we're going to hold this wrench and we're just going to push up on this right here. It's going to move. It does stop. So you're never going to have to worry about actually hitting your scope. All right, so once that's broken, what you want to do is at least pull off this outer tool. That's going to allow your barrel to rotate. So now we can pull our barrel out and it just threads on like normal. All right. Now our barrel is free. As far as the bolt change, we're not actually changing calibers right now, but if we were, it comes with an entire different bolt body, and then all we're going to do is take out the firing pin. So all we're going to do is rotate that to the right, pull this out, and then we would replace it with a new bolt body. And then you're just going to push this in and then rotate it just like that, and we've changed out the bolt for a new caliber if you need to.
All right, hand me the Kraken tools. I think we need to relieve the tension off the serpentine belt so that we can remove it. So we've seen what it takes to actually change out the barrel. If you had a caliber conversion, just making a little bit of light here, let's go ahead and go over the Barrett MRAD barrel change. All right, so what we're going to do now is go over the barrel change on the Barrett MRAD. Now, some of you guys know how to do this. You can buy the toolkit from Barrett that has actually all of the torque values that you're going to need to do this. This is from Fix It Sticks. However, it's not absolutely necessary to have this. You can use your regular torque wrench, and what it comes with is a T-handle, and then you're going to need the Torx Plus. You're not supposed to use standard Torx on this. This is the Torx Plus 30. And so for extra leverage, first thing we want to do is we want to make sure that the rifle is empty. We're going to just lift the action here, and then we're going to break these 2 nuts that are on the handguard. You're going to remove these. Actually, you don't remove them, you just want to loosen them. I don't recommend taking these completely out, but once they start free spinning, that means you pretty much have no tension on it. So this is pretty loose. Once we do that, we're just going to slide the barrel out of the end. There is an index notch on the top of the barrel. You just need to make sure that that seats, and then underneath the actual action there is a little lever here. All you're going to do is squeeze that lever and you're going to pull your bolt out. Now this is for changing the barrel, okay? You saw how simple it was to take the barrel out. If you want to change the barrel and go to a different caliber, there's a little lever here on your takedown on your bolt. You're just going to take this, flip it, that releases the pressure. You take this out, you still use the same bolt body, but it changes the head that's removable. So all the barrels come with a bolt face. When you want to reinstall it, you can't reinstall this the wrong way. It's not going to let your pin go in the wrong way. And that's it. The barrel change is done, and now we're going to check to see the repeatability on the 0 to see if these return within 1 minute of where our 0 was when we started before. All right, guys, keep in mind, we have not made any changes to our scopes other than Gary did adjust a 1/10 right, but he should be pretty centered. I made no changes on this one, so I'm going to shoot the top right diamond. He's going to shoot the top right diamond on his target. I'm the left target, Gary's the right. All right, I'm going to go ahead and break mine now. All right, so based on the results, I think I just had a cold barrel that just needed to be fouled a little bit because my 3-shot group or 5-shot group did actually measure under that 1 inch, and it's shooting where it should. I made no adjustments whatsoever. I think Gary easily held under in a minute. And so guys, both of these rifles are 100% repeatable.
Yeah.
Now guys, you're not going to be able to change calibers and not have any shift at all. Okay. I know that if I put, let's say, my 300 Norma barrel on here, which is a Barrett barrel, it does shift, but I can record that. It's a repeatable shift every time. Typically it's about 8/9 left when I go from this barrel to that barrel. Elevation's pretty good, but you just need to record that data when you change calibers.
All right, so folks, what we're going to be doing next is on this one is we're going to be switching this out for the 300 PRC barrel, which we haven't shot yet. So that's going to be a lot of fun. So stay tuned for that, and you'll see more from Paramount and the X-Ring.
All right, guys, so we did verify these things were zeroed. 3 shots held within 1 minute, and now we're going to do a 5-shot group. I'm on the left target. Gary, you going bottom left diamond?
Yep.
All right, you start us off since I'm just getting set up. All right, he's in the pinwheel. I'm not. All right, so I'm going to be just over an inch. I'm probably going to be like 1.1. Gary's going to be closer to like 1.7 or so. But keep in mind, he's got a brand new barrel. And we're going to head up to the long range.
Yep.
All right, guys, so we have a bunch of wind out here. Gary's getting set up. This barrel, this rifle is actually new to me. I'm actually just borrowing it from a friend. And so, like I said, the other one, I've got 300 Norma, and we wanted to keep the same. Gary still has to get his velocity. I'm going to go ahead and just confirm. I've just put the data in the Kestrel at 1,000 yards. I have not shot a single shot from the 100-yard range, and we're just shooting the Hornady match. And this is going to be the 225 grain 300 PRC. So we have a couple targets down there. I'm just going to load 3 in. We do have about a 10-mile-an-hour wind. It's blowing from about 430. So I'm going to start off with somewhere around 0.6 right, but the wind out here at Pig River can be a little tricky. So let's see if we can do it. I'm actually going to hold a 1/2 mil right. We are level. We recording on the spotter?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. First round at 1,000. Impact. It looked like it was just a hair left, but it was a good impact. So I think the dope's probably right. Now what we're going to do is go left down the middle of the chute there. There's 2 targets. One is to the left, one is to the right. Those are at 1,125 yards from my location. So, guys, I'm a huge fan of 300 PRC and 300 Norma. I think they're both great cartridges. So 1125, this is actually calling for 8.3 mils. All right, we're gonna go for the left target. Everything's level. I'm gonna start off with 8/10 right. Here we go. Okay, so windage was perfect. It was a perfect wind call, but it was actually over the top by quite a bit. I would say I need to come down, and I figured that from the 1,000 that my dope is actually running a lot faster. So I'm going to come down 4/10. And that was a perfect wind call. Here we go with 8/10 and impact, and that's centered up. All right, so not bad. 1 at 1,000. one at 1125, and then the far one in the back there is 1200 yards. So let's go 1200, and this is calling for 9.3. So I'm just going to do 9 flat. That should be good enough. And I'm probably going to start off with a full mil of wind. Man, that's so smooth. All right, actually I'm going to do 1-2. Spotter ready?
Ready.
Here we go. Okay, over the top, wind call was perfect. But yeah, this dope just needs to be trued out. I'm gonna come down 3 more tenths and that should put us on it. I'm hoping anyway. 1-2, spotter up.
Ready.
Shooter's up, here we go. Okay, so a little bit too much of a wind call. Elevation is spot on. So this will be the 6th and final round. Let's see if we can make it happen and connect. And here we go. Oh man, does that look like it's just a hair low?
That was right edge.
I think it's a hair low. I lied. I don't want to leave a quitter. So here we go. 8 tenths, wind calmed up, and that's an impact. So guys, 300 PRC, like I said, I have a lot of respect for this cartridge, especially when we were out in Wyoming and we were shooting the 7 PRC and the 300 PRC with Bergara, and we were taking these to 1.5 miles. I'm very, very impressed with that. And guys, this is factory box ammunition, and it's a whole lot cheaper to shoot this than it is 300 Norma. So I hope you guys enjoyed the review of this. Let's get Gary up to speed. Let's see how the CADEX Kraken, release the Kraken. Let's see how it does.
Fine. All right, so we're at 990. It calls for 9.4. I'm just going to go
1,000 yards.
Actually, we're going to go 8.5. I'm going 8.5. We'll see where we're at on that. .85, and I'll go 1/2 mil right. And holding everything. 185, 1/2 mil right.
Like way high.
That was high?
Yeah, like in the woods high. All right, guys, I have not shot a single round out of this Kraken. So I'll just do 3 shots and give you my opinion on the feel of the rifle.
Here, full magazine.
No, I'm good, I'm good.
Shoot 6. Shoot 6, Ray. Ray's hard-headed.
I am hard-headed.
You don't listen.
I'll listen, I'm just hard-headed. 997 too?
Yep.
Okay, I can tell you the bolt's a little bit smoother. So 1,000 yards, we're at 7.2. 7.2, and we're gonna hold right and there.
That's an impact. Water line, dead center.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and go 11.25, which is 8.4. So 8.4 on elevation. 8.4 elevation, holding 8 tenths, 9 tenths. Okay. Elevation actually looked a little bit high on that, and my wind was a little bit too heavy. So 8.4 in elevation, I'm going to drop it down to about 8. And
8.2. 8.2 was on that one. Was the actual.
Okay, was actual. I couldn't see that part of it. So here we go. Impact. And now we're going to go 11.92, which was You got 9.4 on that?
9.4.
All right, so we're holding 9.4 in the reticle.
Yep.
I'm gonna hold a little heavy on this at 1.
Right edge.
Off right edge?
Off right edge.
Yes, I held a little heavy on the wind. 9.4.
Impact.
That should be an impact. So it has a very, very soft recoil impulse, guys. I will tell you this suppressor is a lot more effective than the AML, but also the rifle ergonomics might make it a softer shooting platform. I'm not sure which is which, but I know that this actually shoots softer than the Barrett M300 PRC. It is actually a pleasure to shoot. I think the trigger is actually a little bit better as well. Doesn't feed as smoothly. When the Barretts, when you chamber around, you really don't feel them. They've done some really good work with that. A lot of the times you just can't even tell. But I'm not taking anything away from this rifle. This rifle feels solid. Definitely a joy to shoot. Yeah, so the other thing I wanted to mention on this, guys, is this is in that Accuracy International level. While the Barrett will absolutely do it, and it does have a great pedigree, you are getting more of a refined package with this. There are pros and cons to both. Yes, you have to have more tools, but the shooting experience is actually a little bit better. But I think bang for the buck, it is hard to beat the Barrett for multi-caliber change. And hopefully other companies will be coming to the table with very new and ingenious ways to be able to do multi-cal, because it'll be that one rifle that can do it all. You have the smaller calibers that you can train with, whether it's a 308, 6.5 Creed or whatever. And then if you have an opportunity to shoot ELR, you know, out at a mile or mile and a half, now you can step up to a cartridge that can do it. And when we did do these sub MOA at 1 mile challenge, while you can do it with a 6.5 Creed, it is literally the wrong tool for the job. Absolutely, it can hit it, but if you do miss, you're not going to see your spots. You're hitting with a lot less energy, and this is a lot more predictable, and you get more rounds on target. So I hope you guys take care. It's been a great review. You guys have a good one. We'll see you on the next one.